December 1972. The Vietnam War had dragged on for over a decade. Back home, Americans were exhausted. More than 50,000 U.S. soldiers had already lost their lives, and still, the war showed no clear end. President Richard Nixon, desperate to secure peace with honor, ordered a final crushing blow to North Vietnam. It would be the most massive aerial assault of the entire war. On the evening of December 18th, the operation began. From Andersen Air Base in Guam and Utapao in Thailand, waves of B-52 Stratofortresses thundered into the night. Each one carried nearly 30 tons of bombs, enough firepower to level a city block in seconds. Escorted by fighter jets, they formed massive formations, flying thousands of miles toward Hanoi. For many of the young American pilots, this was their first taste of combat. For others, they knew the risks. Some of us won't make it back tonight. At 7:45 p.m., the first bombs fell. Rail yards, power plants, and radio stations were targeted. But the bombs did not discriminate. Neighborhoods crumbled. Hospitals shook. Streets vanished in firestorms. Hanoi, once a city of bicycles and quiet alleys, now became a city under siege from the sky. To the world, this would be remembered as the Christmas bombing. But Hanoi was not defenseless. For years, the North Vietnamese had prepared. Soviet-made SAM-2 missiles, thousands of anti-aircraft guns, and swift MiG-21 fighters stood ready. As the B-52s approached, radar screens lit up. Missiles streaked into the sky like fiery spears. On that first night alone, 3 B-52s were shot down. Dozens of American airmen were killed or captured. For U.S. pilots, the myth of the invincible B-52 shattered instantly. Night after night, the raids continued. December 19th, 20th. Then the deadliest December 26th. Hundreds of B-52s dropped wave after wave of bombs. Yet the defenders fought back with equal fury. By the campaign's end, 34 B-52s had been shot down, the largest loss in U.S. Air Force history. On the ground, tragedy struck hard. Cam Phuyen Street was reduced to rubble. The Bach Mai Hospital lay in ruins. More than 1,600 civilians lost their lives. By December 29th, Nixon ended the campaign. The U.S. had unleashed its most powerful weapon, but instead of breaking Hanoi's will, it strengthened it. Under global condemnation and domestic outrage, America returned to the negotiating table. On January 27, 1973, the Paris Peace Accords were signed. The U.S. agreed to withdraw its combat troops from Vietnam. Linebacker II was meant to be America's final show of force, a message that the U.S. would not leave in defeat. But history remembers it differently. To many, it became the Dien Bien Phu of the skies, a reminder that wars are not won by bombs alone, but by the resilience of people who refuse to break.